Naomi-nominated Emmy person, Miss Naomi Grossman?
That's exactly it, and that's how I.
How about that?
The phone.
How you doing?
You?
I'm good. I'm not as good as you. That's awesome. That is awesome. So can I tell you, like, real quick, like, so when I got the email last week to do the interview with you, I'm like, Naomi Grossman? I'm like, okay. And I see the picture of not the character from American Horror Story. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I go, and, of course, I hit Google. I'm like, oh, no. Can I tell you how much Piper freaked me the hell out?
But that's okay. But, no, it's just Piper's Orange is the New Black, Pepper's, you know. Or maybe it's your accent. I don't know. 718. You sound like you're in New York.
Philly, actually.
Philly. My bad. She scared you?
Oh my God, yeah. Freaked me out.
Oh, she's harmless. Did you watch it in its entirety?
I did not. Like, honestly, like, I would just see.
Say, I don't mean to put you on the spot and, like, quiz you, but I would say people that just watch, like, the brief, like, that first episode or just skip it, yes, it was a little scary. But if you really got to watch it, you actually learn that I'm, like, the only good guy, like, in the entire anthology.
but how about what was her name? She actually did our show a couple years ago. Jody M. Gay. Working with her.
I mean, yeah, you're right. She did your show?
Yeah.
I'm just
with a translator.
Because she
first interview we did with a translator.
Speak English. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I mean, she's really hard to understand, even if you speak Hindi, just because, you know, she speaks, like, in octaves that only, you know, dogs can hear. But, I mean, I'm making jokes, of course. She's, like, a friend of mine, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, I remember somebody, a friend of mine in post, actually said, you know, can you please go back to the script and tell us, like, what that little girl's saying? Because we legit, like, cannot. We're trying to edit this thing, and we cannot tell what she's saying. Actually, it was a big joke. I don't know if you're recording all this, and you may need to edit this part out because it includes a nasty word. But there was a line that one of the lines was, Miss Elsa, a man with a big cock came. A man with a big car came and bought out the whole show. And the way she said it, it sounded like a man with a big cock came. Get it? Anyway, it was endlessly funny to us because she, like, no matter which take they used, it sounded like she said that a man with a big cock came. And I mean, let's face it, they all have big cocks for her.
Oh, that's all wrong. That's so wrong. It's funny because a buddy of mine was actually down, he was at a Comic-Con in Florida a couple weeks ago, and he sent me a picture. He's like, I was walking by the table, and they had her up on the table, and I thought it was a doll.
Well, yeah. I mean, she looks like a doll. Yeah. And she has to stand on the table. She can't, if you put her on a chair, you won't see her.
That's why, yeah. I guess
it's pretty surreal. In fact, the stand-in, like the stand-ins on set, they would have a huge mop, like a giant broom for Amazon Eve, and they did. They had like a little, you know, Cabbage Patch Kid for Jyoti. And then for me, they had Emma Roberts' stand-in. Just to give you an idea of how tall we all are.
So, one thing I found out about you, too, was actually one of your early goals was to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yes. I'm still recovering from that.
Still recovering.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had to let that go a little. It was getting unhealthy. But listen, I do believe that it's kind of too late for me in many ways, only because when I do watch the show, like it's all 20-year-olds. And then my friend, God, Mikey Day. Jeez, don't you hate that when you're like, my friend, and then all of a sudden, like, their name is gone, and then you sound like an idiot who doesn't have friends. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's all 20-year-olds and Mikey. And then, so I do believe that ship may have sailed, but I'm not ruling out coming in as a host one day. You know.
There you go. I was going to say that. Now you should like strive to be the host.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's
cool.
that's the new plan.
So this whole Control Alt Delete, like, so I sat and watched it last night, and of course,
really?
probably my initial reaction. What's that?
You watched the whole season?
I did.
Not that it's a huge deal. I mean, it's short, so. Okay, so what do you think? What do you say?
When you were approached to do this, like, didn't you think to yourself, like, oh boy, like, this could be a lot of fun, but this is going to be so dangerous. We're going to piss a lot of people off.
Oh, I never worry about that. No. I mean, that excites me. That actually makes me want to do it. I mean, as long as it's in keeping with my ideology, you know, I think, I mean, I personally don't think it's all that controversial. I think women should have rights, reproductive rights, and I don't believe the government should be meddling in that. So in that regard, I don't actually think it's controversial at all. But yeah, as far as like things I've done, like I don't, you know, before American Horror Story, I was doing, you know, these insane YouTube videos, but you know, I was like hiding cucumbers in my pants and walking through TSA line. You know what I mean? Like, so I you know, I've been kind of like pushing the envelope and trying to, you know, I've been at this for a while. So this is, you know, this is scripted. This is this is nothing by comparison.
I mean, as I like at first I was like I cringed. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. But it's not actually controversial as you watch it. Then your initial probably reaction that people would think like, oh my God, an abortion comedy. People were instantly. I was reading the Facebook comments. I was like, oh boy, here they come. Like,
yeah.
The haters are out.
Well, I think that's the point. I think that's the point, is to kind of normalize the conversation. Like, this is a place and it exists. Like, let's face it, there's workplace comedies all over television, from you know, The Office to Cheers. You know, why not an abortion clinic? It's a place we haven't seen, and it's ripe with stories, right? And in a way, I personally think it lends itself to those kinds of stories, and those are ones that are sad and funny. I mean, like, my personal favorite show, for example, is, well, there's a few, but, you know, Orange is the New Black or Transparent, where, you know, it really kind of dances the line between comedy and drama. And I think they've done a really good job of doing this. I mean, it is a workplace comedy. I mean, it is a abortion comedy, but, you know, it deals with serious subjects, and it makes them accessible to people that wouldn't, you know, normally go there.
Right.
Literally and physically. I mean, that's the point. Like, I don't know if you watched the episode with the woman who was like, I would never do this. But, you know, sometimes we've had 5 kids already, and you're 40 years old. Maybe, you know, maybe you're done. I don't know. Listen, I'm talking out of my. I should shut up. I am just speaking as a woman that you know, does believe in the right to choose. That said, this is not really my axe to grind. Like, this is not like I'm not on some crusade with this film or this series by any means. I'll be honest, I'm just an actress. I was approached with the role. I thought, I mean, she seemed like a character, and that's what attracted me. Not the subject matter, not, the story. I mean, I thought, quite honestly, I'm going to be totally honest, I thought it is just edgy enough, and I thought maybe, a Netflix or a Hulu or one of these new platforms that are, going out of their way to put out kind of interesting new kind of cutting edge content would maybe pick this up, and as the series regular resident regular at the clinic, I would find my way into weasel my way into a nice plush series regular role. That was, quite honestly, that was my plan. That's why I signed on. I never thought that there would be an Emmy nomination in it for me, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, right. Like, now, how does that happen? How does how do you get told that you're nominated for an Emmy? Like, do you get a phone call, an email, and what's the initial reaction?
There's so basically, I knew that it was coming up. I am a member of the Television Academy, so even I can vote. I can't vote for myself, unfortunately. I tried yesterday, but so I did know that the date was approaching and that they would be basically streaming it live. So a couple other kids that I know that were also all up for consideration, they gathered, and it happened at like 8 a.m. So there was mimosas flowing, and I figured, you know what? If I wake up in time, I'll go. Why not? And I did. So I, in my yoga pants and baseball hat, stumbled out to, I don't know, somebody's home, and we watched this. And boy, I did not come prepared to get my photo taken. Let's just say, I did not see this coming at all. It's one of those things that it's kind of like the last thing I really wanted it for Pepper. I'm not going to lie. And I thought, that was, let's face it, that show is Emmy lauded every year after year. So if anything, I thought maybe that I had a chance with that. And when that didn't happen, I kind of was like, oh, no. Again, the universe loves to, play surprises. So I just figured it was like another SNL thing. Like, oh, okay, no, not in this life. But who knew? Maybe.
And that's really going to throw you for a loop, though. You're thinking Pepper would have gotten you a nomination at some point, and then here this does. So it's kind of like a real head scratcher at times, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Leo DiCaprio should have gotten it for Wolf of Wall Street and for The Aviator and for like everything else he's ever done, and then he got it for The Revenant. Like, okay. So listen, if they want to give it to me for Pepper 2-3 years later, I'll take it.
There you go.
I'm kidding. I just think it's cool that the Academy is kind of ahead of the curve. Let's face it, the Television Academy is sort of known for being like a bunch of really stodgy old white men. And the fact that they're acknowledging short-form series, that's pretty innovative. Let's face it, like the internet is the future. Like that is what the kids care about anyway. And so, that's pretty awesome. And the fact that, they're acknowledging, like you said, this comedy that might not get any kind of traction anywhere else. It's a subject matter that, folks don't want to touch.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's
now, is there
great.
going to be a season 2, or?
There is. In fact, they're crowdfunding now. they're making a ton of money. I think they're surprising me anyway. I mean, people want to see this series happen, and I'm sure a lot of them are, reproductive rights and special interest groups that are like, yes, support art that furthers our cause, and I think that's great. So yes, there will be a season 2, and it sounds like it's going to have a much bigger budget, which is great.
Oh wow!
Maybe they'll even better actors. I'm being paid an Emmy nomination right now, so I'm not complaining if they're listening.
Has that started your phone ringing some more?
The Emmy nomination?
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, maybe not the phone ringing per se, but when it does ring, they say, "Is this the Emmy nominated Naomi Grossman?" I mean, it's. I think it's something that I can always kind of add to my resume. I'll always have that to throw around, right. And that's nice. It's put me in a really good mood for the last, 3 weeks, and that says something. Let's face it, like, you get what you put out, and I'm putting out some pretty good vibes right now. So yes, I anticipate my phone ringing.
So do I. So do I.
Yes. Well, so, so here we are. I stand corrected.
See that? So
yeah.
I have a couple fan questions for you, if you don't mind, as well.
Sure.
Okay. So from Jamie, she a huge fan. She wanted to know about, were you afraid of actually possible backlash for playing Pepper with a character with disabilities? And did you do research?
I did fear.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Did I really fear? Did I really do research? Both. I was very nervous about it because, I mean, let's face it, this is a real affliction. And I, prior to this, had done primarily comedy, sketch comedy, big, bold, big, broad, character-driven comedy, in which I was mostly making fun, not of disabled people, specifically at all, obviously, but just people in general. Like, just that was my thing, was sort of like SNL level, where you're going
right.
so over the top that it's hard not to, appear like you're making fun. And this was, definitely not that. And so I needed to kind of go back to my roots and go back to my real, acting chops back at Northwestern University and, find some stillness and some subtlety and some realness that I'd sort of let go by the wayside in my, sketch comedy days. So yeah, I did. I worried a lot about that. Woke up in sweats, worrying about, the hate mail I might get, blah, blah, blah. It's actually been quite the opposite. Those same groups that I expected to, call me out, quite the opposite. They invite me to their schools, and I come and I speak. And, for the most part, I've had nothing but a overwhelmingly positive reception for her, which is great.
That's awesome.
There was one instance that was not so positive, and it literally was, it was their bad. That's my take on it, but they thought I was disabled. So when I got off the plane, they were upset about me being able-bodied. And as far as I'm concerned, you should Google before you, sign a contract and commit your, a budget to a thing. Like, that's common sense. And so the fact that they waited until I got there to, basically protest my appearance, I mean, that's really dumb. Like, Google first. Just don't invite. I wasn't trying to come there. Like, I just stayed home. I got a nice pool, I got a full bar. Like, I don't need to be there. But oh well. It's okay. It's all part of the story, right?
Absolutely.
I really embrace it all. I embrace the good and the bad, because even the bad, like, I can, I got a story out of it.
You'll have stories to tell forever now.
Oh, yeah. You're finding that out. You're like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a 20-minute interview. I'll be here all day with this chick.
She also wanted to know real quick, how long in the makeup chair to get into the character?
That was about a 2.5 to 3 hour process. Usually with like two guys sort of feverishly working on me the whole time. They would split me down the middle and, applied my fake brow, nose, ears. They'd obviously shave my head and apply a piece. I had a fake lens, some fake teeth, fake arms. In the case of the Freak Orgy, if you recall, in the first episode of Freak Show, they actually had to apply a fake chest as well. I basically appeared naked, and that took a full 6 hours that day.
Holy cow.
But it looked great. Like, I remember that day, walking out on set, like, with nothing but my, like, fake chest and diaper, and one of the producers panicking, get Pepper a robe. Pepper needs a robe. And, of course, I'm like, I'm not naked. Like, I am dressed way more than to go to the beach, So I'm wearing more clothes than I normally do, It's July in New Orleans, like, please.
Or when you were doing naked bike riding. How about that?
Oh, yeah, there you go. See, so I'm just a nudist.
So, all right, I got one more question.
I am very comfortable with myself, and yeah, I guess what I appreciate about all that is it's all just about the celebration of being free and nature, and there's nothing like lewd or nasty about it. If it were, I wouldn't want any part of it. I mean, come on. This Me Too age, like, that's the last thing I'd want to sign up for.
One more fan question, and I'll let you go. This one's from Jessie. First off, she says you're amazing, and she wants to know, do you want to do more horror genre roles, or do you want to branch out into other genres?
I mean, I just want to work. I think that's how most actors would answer. Genre has been really good for me, so yes, of course I do. But I would love to branch out. I'd love to be. I want to do it all. I think for the longest time, I did sort of figure, you got to get a gimmick, and this business is just so hard that if you can just find your little niche, then maybe you can break your way in. And so that's why I kind of really zeroed in on sketch comedy and character stuff specifically. I'm glad I did ultimately, because let's face it, Pepper is the ultimate character. But at the same time, I also do feel that I kind of I was limiting myself. I'm a serious actress, and I wasn't giving myself that respect. So yes, I'd love to do it all. I just at the end of the day, I just want to work. So I'm hardly gonna bite the hand that feeds me. If horror and genre stuff is what's coming at me, I'm gonna take it. If it's comedy, if it's drama, great. I guess I just don't feel like I'm at a position right now to be picking and choosing. I mean, that would be great. I think people have this false perception that actors are just sort of sitting by their pools, reading scripts and saying, no, I don't see myself like that. Like, I think there's maybe Amy Adams does that. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
or
right.
her people do that for her. But I think for the most part, we're just excited to work. I mean, we're like the ultimate temps. You know, like, where do I go today? So, yeah. We're just happy to have a job.
I hear that.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
it's the truth, though. I mean, you know, some years you work and then some days you don't. Some years you don't work at all. So, you know, the IRS does not know what to do with me. So if anyone's listening that works for the government, like for the IRS, like, please get in touch. We need to talk.
Oh, that's all wrong. That's so wrong. That's more wrong than the abortion comedy.
Is it? I mean, again, I have no filter or sense of what's wrong and what's right anymore. I just know I've been audited for 2 years now. They think I'm a hobbyist. I'm here to tell you I'm not. I'm nominated for Emmy. I'm real. I'm here to stay. This is not my hobby. That's the end. Nothing really wrong about it. Straight dope. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so where should we send everybody to get in touch with you, follow you, like you, love you, subscribe to you, and all that stuff, and to find out more about Ctrl, Alt, Delete?
Correct. My handle is at Naomi W. Grossman across all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My website is naomigrossman.net. And, yeah, you should be able to find me anywhere there.
Awesome.
And
well, Naomi, thanks.
Ctrl Delete is actually on Facebook. So if they go to, like, you know, facebook.com / or front, whatever the slash is, Ctrl Alt Delete, CTRL Alt Delete, it'll pop right up. Or even in your little bar where you go to, like, stop people, if you just write Ctrl Alt Delete, again, it'll come right up. And you can watch their either full episodes, full season, or just highlights of me. I think there's like a 3-minute reel, which I've also just put up on YouTube. So even if you put, like, highlights Naomi Grossman, Ctrl Alt Delete, you'll see that too.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the Emmy nomination. Hopefully you'll bring it home and get more work. Stop making it a hobby. Yeah, right?
Come on. Get to work.
Get to work. There you go. Naomi, thanks so much, and good luck with everything. Congrats again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.